Right, this is Mike at Nearly Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program, and I'm desperately hoping this is going to work. This is the Aluminium Rhinoceros taking off. I've completely changed the launcher, as you may see. So the launcher was reheating and doing all sorts of really bad things. Flipping out and just causing pain and misery. Oh, thank goodness. And one of the its more entertaining actions was to not realize, but basically that when it's separated, they wouldn't separate enough because those twin balls are really heavy, and so trying to they wouldn't get far enough away, and they'd smash into the rocket. And so they didn't do that there. So I'm very pleased with that. So I actually have got up to this stage, and I haven't flipped out, which was happening a lot. I don't know why. I thought I was being very aggressive about keeping it under. Let's get rid of the fairings. I was keeping everything underneath 300 meters a second, and I was fairly convinced that I was doing this on each of my launches, and hopefully thus getting some kind of stability. Yeah, and not flipping over, but it would keep flipping over no matter what. But I seem to have managed it this time by being just really being aggressive about not going over 300 meters a second. So, yay, I guess. So that's why this is taking place at night. I've just been doing a few launches to try and get the goddamn thing to work. I had another issue to do with the fairings, which is in an abort situation, which I was getting a few of because I, on occasion, well, yeah, the boosters would smash into the side of the rocket and it would be bad. When that would happen, you know, I'd obviously want to try and get everyone out, but the fairing wouldn't deploy, and if the fairing doesn't deploy, then you're stuck. You can't do parachutes. You can't really do anything. All right. Let's see what we've got. It's not terrible. So I clearly don't know how to make fairings. I mean, I thought I'd been sensible with the staging and making it so that the basic problem was the separator would go before the fairings would go. And once the separator had gone, the fairings then didn't counted as a separate part of the rocket, and thus didn't feel the need to obey my instructions, which is obviously a bit of a problem. I can't even remember where we're going. We're going to the moon, and we're going to the moon, and there's still a massively untested piece of kit on this thing, where I honestly do not know if I'm going to be able to separate the lander, and you know, there's a whole bunch of yeah. And apart from anything else, because of the very particular way the way everything is constructed, am I getting any control over this thing at all? I thought I would get something. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, it's going to be a journey like that. This is why I should have I should have viewed the tapes. I should have gone back and looked at my previous efforts. I was going to put some reaction wheels, some of the big reaction wheels in there. I've forgotten about that entirely. Might as well also extend some panels. Don't know if I'll find that. There we go. It would actually be quite nice, as well as like lights and brakes and gears and stuff. If you got a come on. If you had a panels, I mean, you know, you can get. I have no control over this thing at all. Seriously, I have no control over this thing at all. Oh wow, was it this bad before? I can't remember. Okay, so we're going slightly in the right direction. You know, it's one of the things. Oh, I've turned the SAS off for some reason. That helps a lot. Oh wait, it doesn't help at all. Oh, wrong way. Oh, lordy, 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 lordy. Hey, look at that, it's just hardly moving at all in that ball. Well, I'm gonna be very glad to see the end of this particular stage, I suspect. I only just got enough to get in to equalize. Good thing I've got like a minute to get in position, eh? Don't give me a golf clap, cheeky guy. These tourists, who do you think they are, eh? I do hope I'm going to be pointing the right way. Of course, it's, you know, once I actually get going, I'll have much more control because I'll have a gimbal rocket. Well, we're just going to have to go with it in a second. 2, 1, 0. Much more control, which is actually slightly hilarious. You know, close enough. Goodbye that stage. Is that engine active? Yes. still pretty slow to maneuver. Wow. So I think next time, I think I'll put reaction wheels behind there. Oh yeah. So that gets me out. So moon, set targets. We'll go approximately there, I think. That's where we're going to start the maneuver. Well, that's where I'm going to start looking, essentially. I don't have any particular orbit in mind, so an equatorial is fine. You know, I've had missions where the precise orbit is terribly important, but not this one. Although I think if you go with a reasonably low orbit to begin with, it's easier on the landing. I can't remember what I'm looking at. Time to note ages. Okay. It's very much where I'd like a third level pilot, and you say, you know, point yourself at the maneuver node. Well, this is in fact more maneuverable than my last stage, so I guess I can't complain that much. So, okay, it looks like my new launcher works okay, although I can do with some more reaction wheels. Reaction wheels may in fact help with my stability problem, but mostly I need it when I'm doing orbiting. As you can see, I've taken to drinking heavily. It's only energy drinks, don't worry too much. Although they're still probably not very good for me. Okay. That's seriously where the... Okay. Oh, I suppose I'm going right round before going. Panels are out, that's fine. Delta in this stage is enough. Okay, we'll book the next maneuver. Should probably be F5ing a lot, but to be perfectly honest, I suspect I'm going to want to revert all the way back to the VAB if this goes wrong. And just pretend this never happened. Okay, again, I've drifted slightly off the maneuver marker there, so hopefully I'm going to have enough time to pull this off. No, because I'm essentially going to have to burn more or less immediately. According to this, I did not. There are some things I didn't check. I should be right. The fact that I was able to, as soon as I started burning, I got my gimbal. Always hate it at the beginning. Nothing seems to happen. Nothing seems to happen for absolutely ages, and then suddenly it all happens all at once. Pretty much very precise, as precisely as I possibly can on the maneuver node by using the cabin view there. off we go. Right, I think I'm going to cut it there, and I'll meet you back up when we get to the moon. Right, we're just approaching the maneuver node for the equalization burn at the moon. So I've got just under a minute. Gonna position myself as accurately as possible on that maneuver node. Wow, that's really quite dark. So let's go back to the map view. I'm kind of hoping that being very accurately aligned to the maneuver node means I have to chase it less towards the end of the burn. I'm actually going to be quite low. I'm going to be like 9k. It should be enough to avoid any mountains, but it's still going to be quite low to start my eventual kind of descent. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's slightly annoying when a second of Kerbal time isn't a second of real time. You're kind of counting down and you're kind of hoping that it's right, hoping that everything's fine. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. This would be nice to have someone else on the throttle. Well, I want to keep the maneuver node and juggle the time as well. Well, I suppose I'll just keep staring at this. I don't need to necessarily know the exact burn time. Maybe I do 3. Yeah, I have to keep looking down here to keep myself on the maneuver node as much as possible. It's a bit more. I think that's going to do 9 and 11. Silhouetted against the night, obviously, because that's the way it always is. Point in retrograde for the moment. Now, landing. Where shall I land? I think I'll land in here. Let's move slightly further on. However, I want to do this not in the... I don't want to do that with this stage here. I want to do that with the lander. Right, I might start having this conversation when I start coming out into the light. Right, let's fast forward a bit. Because I've got some time to think about it. It's got about 18 minutes. The sun's going to be coming behind the moon soon. We'll wait till I actually see the ship. Didn't put lights on it again. I didn't put lights on the lander again, which is not very clever. So I absolutely have to land in the daytime. And I still don't know if the docking ports will undock. So it should be dawn soon, such as it is. Here we go. Okay, so lander. What I'm going to want to do in the next little while, and possibly very soon indeed, and I realise I should have put SAS on this, and docking's going to be a pain. Nuts. Docking's going to be a pain in the bottom. I have made mistakes. Oh well. Yeah. What I should have done is I should have put SAS on this thing so it won't rotate when I try and dock up with it again, and I haven't done that, which means it's going to be horrible. The usual game pause that happens when I mouse over the contracts thing, which I don't actually care about at this moment. I was looking at the electric charge. I was getting even less response than I am normally used to. I'm getting no response of any kind is what's happening. It's doing that thing again. Well, okay, I guess I'm just going to have to... What's annoying about this is I lose the ability to revert to launch. But I've lost that ability anyway, I think. And in fact, I'm probably going to have to go back to the Space Center and reload completely. Oh no, okay. So I have made a number of mistakes. I may or may not be able to dock this thing at all. But so long as I can land, I think I'm going to be okay, because in an emergency what I will do is I'll bring up another space tug with a claw, and I'll just latch onto that and use the SAS on that craft to stop this one from rotating. Or I'll just bring up another ship entirely and rescue people that way. I'll sort something. Right, so we've got about 6 minutes to go. And that has not worked. And the big problem is I'm going to find it difficult to get inside and tell these things to undock. That's kind of what I need to do right now. Right, so these are considered to be separate craft now. But they won't undock. And the docking ports don't count themselves. Well, yeah, this is my own fault for having a an untested undocking system. So I'm rooting around in the internals of it, of the craft, to see if I can't. See, these all, see, none of them have got the option to undock, so it thinks it's undocked. So it's possible that something else thinks it's attached, and therefore I can't let go. possibly that fairing, but no, that should be. I should be able to undock. I don't know what's keeping me locked on. Oh, have I got... No? What are those things? Those struts? What? You can see I'm coming undone. Is it just that, like, one... This is very annoying. Alright. I'm not going to be docking with these things. I'm fairly convinced. But we'll land and we'll sort something out. We can land and get into orbit. I very much doubt we're going to be able to do anything useful for that. That's going to be rotating. And it's just going to be a pain in the bottom. But that's for later. That is for later. That's when that is. That is for later. We will sort that out some other time. I need to land this thing, and then I need to work out other things. It's fine. I don't care. If I can land this thing that's a couple of contracts gone. If I need to do a full rescue mission, I can do a full rescue mission. Really, I just need to put a dockable craft with that pattern, and I've got this as a sub-assembly. Those 5 docking ports and pattern. I've got those as a sub-assembly. I don't know what caused that. I'm wondering what those... What are those? Are they just plugged in? I don't know why it didn't come apart. Nothing seemed to be holding it, but it didn't work. So I had to use some fuel. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen next time. So join us for then. Hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Come join Nearly Left Dice at nearlyleftdice.com, and you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. And finally, until next time, reach for the stars.